Hello guys, welcome back. In the previous video, we learned about how William II he moved from the policy of conscious continentalism to aggressive imperialism, not just theoretically but also giving the political military support to the colonies of Britain. For example, he assured the Sultan of Morocco help against the French by sending dreadnoughts to Morocco. Now, William II was assured that Britain and France being on the loggerhead, Britain would not interfere in this matter. But to his surprise, Britain sided with the France. So it was German and Moroccans at one side and the British and the French on the other side. Now, the William II was very insecure at this particular moment, and so he backed off. Moreover, the British did not wanted a war with the French, with the Germans. So Germany was made to have share in the bank of Morocco. Now this proved beneficial for the Britain because Britain didn't have to fight the two powers, the French and the Germans. Okay, so in the short run this proved beneficial for the Britain, but in the longer run this policy of appeasement towards Germany proved very harmful for Britain, because William II got into habit and he was furthering his plan of interfering, then pressurizing, and then bargaining for more share. And this policy increased the enthusiasm of William II, and he turned towards the other colonies of Britain and France, increasing the political rivalry between the old bosses and the new leaders. So this economic and political rivalry, lit the cause towards the general development. Okay. Now the general development started with the militarization. In the militarization, the lead was again taken by the Germans. Now the Germans started with the heavy naval empowerment. They started, dreadnoughts and U-boats. So a competition. So the competition between the British and German, Imperial German, started for having more and more dreadnoughts and U-boats. Secondly, the Kiel Channel was constructed by William II so as to connect the North Sea and the Baltic Sea and hence pass the Denmark's influence. Thirdly, he proposed and even contributed by by providing monetary supply, by providing engineering help to Ottoman Empire for the construction of Berlin to Baghdad railway line. And this is because
now this is here is Berlin and this is Baghdad. Now the Suez Canal was controlled by the British and the French, so Germans had no chance of using the Suez Canal. So in order to counter and bypass the British and the French, what German thought that this complete Ottoman Empire will form a railway line all through the Constantinople up till the Baghdad, and once the Persian Gulf is on our hand, will be challenging the British colony of India. Moreover, the Mesopotamian oil fields was very important, was going to be a very important game changer, okay, for the industries of Germany.
So if we see how does the militarization by Germany led to the formation of blocks, okay, then we need to find the history of block formation. Now in 1873, when there was a block formation between Germany, Austria-Hungary and Russia, this was the period when the Bismarck was there. The Bismarck being a very intelligent, knowing the fact that an infant nation requires peace and stability to grow. So Russia 1871 just was born, and but by 1878 this alliance in 5 years broke because Russia was not helped by Austria-Hungary. They both came to be on other side, because in 1877-78 there was a Russo-Turkish war, and Austria-Hungary, rather than going towards the Russian side, became neutral, and hence Russian left this alliance in 1878. This alliance became dual alliance, and in the same year 1878 Russia joined hands with the France, okay, forming double entity. So this double entity here in 1878 and double alliance here in 1879. Now in 1882, just 3 years after being left to double alliance, Italy joins the double alliance, forming triple alliance, because the Italian colonies of North America was attacked by the Brits and the French. Now the growing naval power by the Germany under William II, put the Russian, the Brits and the France in apprehension. Now this led to formation of Austro-Russian entity in 1907, and in 1907 the Russian, Brits and the French joined hands to forming triple entente in 1907. So triple entente means a friendship agreement understanding. So triple entente versus the triple alliance. But triple entente was stronger by the fact that in 1902 even the Japan joined the triple entente. Moreover, in 1915 Italy left the triple alliance and joined hands with the triple entente.
next is the Eastern question, but before discussing the Eastern question, we need to understand that the Asia Minor is a very important place because it connects the West Asian countries, the Hijaz, the Mesopotamia, Syria, and the Palestine / Israel, and the Eastern Europe countries like the Poland, Hungary, and the Greece. Now, the West Asian countries are mainly the Islamic countries, whereas the Eastern Europe countries are the Christian countries. Okay. Now the Asia Minor sits on the heart of the Silk Road. In 1869, the Suez Canal, multiplied the importance of Asia Minor's domination. The importance of Asia Minor domination. Moreover, with the finding of oil in the Ottoman Empire, 1910 in Iran, this also increased the value of Asia Minor. Okay, so whoever will dominate the Asia Minor will dominate the Silk Road, will dominate the trade via Suez Canal, and will dominate the world by the oil. So the story of Asia Minor starts in 1453 when the Turk occupied Constantinople. They started entering Europe but were stopped on the border of Vienna. By end of 15th century, they occupied entire Eastern Europe. But they never gave equal status to the Christian subjects because they were guided by the priestly class. Okay? In India, at the same time, we were also ruled by the Muslims, but they were guided by the Sufism. And hence there was no violence, no communal riots seen in India, but at the same time in Eastern Europe there were communal tensions because the Christian subjects were subjugated. Thirdly, the entire Eastern Europe hence it aspired freedom from the Ottoman Empire. And this manifested with the Montenegro declaring independence in 1799 when the Ottoman Empire in the last phase of 18th century started declining. The Montenegro declared independence. Soon the Serbia followed in 1820s declaring independence, and by the 1830s Greece also declared independence. Now this uprising and declaration of independence was beneficial for Russia. We'll discuss how. But before that we have to understand the geographical problems of Russia. Now if you see the Russia, on the north it's bounded by the Arctic, on the east and again on the north it's bounded by the Serbia, that is the permafrost region. On the south its door is again closed by the steppes, okay, because the people here are cannibals. Only the western door of Russia is opened first by the Baltic Sea, which opens the door to the Europe, okay, and on the southwestern by the Black Sea, which opens the door to the Asia and the Silk Route.
So this is complete Russia. The east is the Serbia region, the north is the Arctic region, the south here is the steppes region. Okay, only Baltic Sea in the northwest and the Black Sea in the southeast are the doors opened for the Russia, and hence because of this, open doors, we say that the Russian history is also, the European history is linked with the Russian history. Russian histories are not linked with the Asian history, right? So the Russia always wanted to conquer the Asia Minor, right?
So the Peter the Great, from where the modern history of Russia starts. Same way as the death of Aurangzeb in 1707, the modern history of India starts. The Peter the Great, he started the policy of warm water policy, where he termed that he out to dominate the Baltic Sea and out to dominate the Black Sea. Now, with this policy starts the rivalry with the Turkey. Catherine II, the great ruler of Russia in 1674 by the Treaty of Kachuk, took the Crimea from the Turks.
Okay, so this is what is the Crimea here, and this is Ukraine. Okay, so Catherine II took Crimea in 1674.
Now, Crimea soon became the esophagus of Russia because it supplied important food materials, spices, etc. In the modern day, it supplies important oil and gas and other important trade commodities. Russia, seeing the Eastern Europe uprisings against the Turkey, naturally supported the Eastern Europe and gave the reason. The binding force was the religion, the Greek Orthodox Christianity, and the race, the Slavic race. But British and France, even though there was the binding force of religion with the Eastern Europe, still they sided with a completely different religious country, that is the Turks, because there was apprehension with the British and the France that once Russia occupies the Silk Route and gains influence over the area, soon it will dominate the world, because it will also challenge the areas of the British and the French colonies of India and the Indochina.